Welcome back. I'm Chad Range. He's Jesse Finney. We are the Hit Squad here on 101sports.com. And I tell you what, Fox Sports 1, they're going to, what an unveiling for them. It's a UFC, it's a Saturday night, and just looking at this card's a pay-per-view card, especially what we just saw.
That's why I told you last week, don't buy that card, because this one is coming up, and this is a better overall card right here than last week's card, August 17th. And I'm excited to see some of these matchups. I'm actually excited about this whole card.
Yeah, there is not. Yeah, I'm looking down through there, and there are definitely intriguing fights. All five of those, I'm very, very excited for. Of course, Chael Sonnen, he's going to be back in the octagon after taking on John Jones, taking on Shogun. I'm always going to pull for Chael.
Well, I think a lot of people will pull for Chael. You love him or you hate him, but Shogun Rua is no joke. Shogun Rua is a guy that always comes out banging and hard. Now, the whole key to this whole thing is Chael Sonnen going to be able to take Shogun down and hold him down and beat him up? That's really the key. Or is Chael Sonnen going to be better for TV?
I was going to say.
I mean, how much is he really training full time? Now, I know he moved his camp to LA where he's doing a lot of stuff with Fox right now. So we'll see. But Chael Sonnen is one thing about Chael Sonnen is he's going to come hard out there. He's going to go banging. He's going to try to hold you down, grind a pound, bang you. Wrestler usually comes out on top on this. But I'll tell you something here. Shogun Rua is always exciting. He's going to bang the hell out of your legs. And is he going to start banging the legs where Chael Sonnen will not be able to take him down? That's the key question here.
Chael will sell the fight, definitely. People will take interest. But, yeah, if he loses, does he just go ahead and get right in? Yeah,
that's my personal opinion.
That's what I would say, too. I'm along that exact same line. I don't foresee another fight for him. I think he goes straight into the booth.
Straight into the booth, the TV, and he does great at it. He's awesome. I mean,
he's good. He's a good guy to have there. How big a fight is this for Overeem taking on Travis Browne? I think it's huge.
Let's see. I mean, here you were talking about steroids. Is Alistair Overeem going to be able to fight? I mean, Overeem going to be able to fight without the steroids? I mean, that is the key question here. Is he going to be able to do it? Travis Browne is a kid that's on a hot streak right now. Now, Alistair Overeem, I tell you what, you got something to prove, and you better come out. You better come out like the old Alistair Overeem's going to be banging. And if you're going to be able to do it, this is your time to do it. You're going to be free on Fox TV, on Fox Sports 1. Hey, here's your chance. And I tell you something about Browne, man. Browne is no joke. So we'll see. This is going to be an interesting matchup. I love the fight card. I'm excited for this.
Oh, it's a great fight card. August 17th, that's a Saturday. Fox Sport 1 UFC Fight Night. Boston, Massachusetts, TD Gardens. Talk to us on Twitter at HitSquad101 ESPN. Email hitsquad@101sports.com. Another guy who's really righted the ship, Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber's, and I'm sorry to interrupt you here.
No,
he's right in line for the title shot. If he gets his win, you can't deny him.
No.
Put him back in. Let's see what he's got, man, because he's a marketable kid.
Yeah.
He's always exciting. He's always in great shape. He always comes out banging. He's a good wrestler. He's there for the fans to fight. And I tell you something, man. I mean, if he wins this fight, he's got to be in line.
This is the California kid, and we've talked about, he was going like this. And then all of a sudden, he's back up on this. Good for him. I don't know what he changed in his...
Well, he brought a new coach, Dwayne Ludwig, but I think what he really did, and this is something people don't talk about, is he actually took some stuff off of his plate. He was trying to run his gym. He's trying to run a clothing line. He's trying to do all this and trying to do all that. Well, he's actually taking a step back and focused on one thing.
He got back to fighting.
I mean, I will say for myself, when I was fighting and I was trying to run a gym, I was trying to train guys and do promotions, it was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. And I tell people that. I say, hey, listen, if I had to do it all back over, I would focus on something instead of trying to do it all. Yeah. And I think Uriah Faber has learned from that, because I think he was trying to do too much at a time. And he basically is going in, now he's actually like, okay, I'm focused on my fighting. I'm going to bring in another coach. I'm going to bring in Dwayne Ludwig. I'm going to let someone else try to run my clothing line. And now he's not going to go try to do TV, try to do this. He's focusing on fighting, and it's actually showing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for that fight, because that is a guy, like I said, it looked like he was over. I remember thinking, he's going to be out of the UFC, and now here we are talking about he's going to get a title shot. Matt Browne, Mike Pyle.
Man, I tell you something. I've been the guy that has never believed in Matt Browne, and I've been the guy that has been wrong. So I think that he is. I think he's one of the most overrated 170s out there. I've thought that forever, and he was always exciting. He was this and that. I tell you what, man, I was wrong, and the guy knows how. He knows how to win. He knows how to win. He's on a hot streak. Good for him. I'm happy for him. I like Matt a lot. He's a really nice guy, but I never thought he was that great of a fighter. And I tell you something, I was wrong because this will be interesting. Mike Pyle, man, he's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got good wrestling. Came out of the Extreme Couture camp. Now all of a sudden he's putting everything together. Hell of a fight.
And finally, Uriah Hall. The expectations that surround this kid are huge. And I believe this is his first fight since he lost the
Kelvin.
Yeah, to Kelvin Gastelum.
Here's the thing, John Howard, if John Howard gets in his face and Uriah has learned how to stop from letting people get in his face, that's the key question in this fight. If Uriah Hall can stop John Howard from getting here, he wins the fight. If he can't, John Howard getting in his face and stopping him, then John Howard's going to win the fight. If not, I mean, that was the whole deal with Kelvin. That's what Uriah's he's gonna face. He's always had a problem. If he's gonna be able to stay long and pick you apart, he's gonna beat you all day long. Now, if he does not, and he sits there and lets John get in his face, he's done.
It'll be, you know that Uriah knows that after fighting Kelvin. So it'll be interesting to see how he has trained and what he has done and his different technique. Because I mean, they were talking. You could compete right now in this division for the championship. Well, you know, let's slow the roll a little bit here. It'll be interesting to see the Uriah Hall we will see that night. He's a great kickboxer. Athletically, I mean, that you've said it all along. The athlete is in MMA, and
right.
You're not going to find too many better athletes than Uriah Hall. So this is a good, true test for his first stepping stone to will he be able to be a champion in this league.
I agree with you, and the key is going to come down to his wrestling. I mean, the wrestling last time he failed. Okay, this time is he going to be able to keep the guy out of his face? I mean, you even saw in some of his Ultimate Fighter fights, if someone was in his face, he had problems. Mm-hmm. He had problems. I mean, even if you look at the fight with him and Adam Sella, it was back and forth the first round. When Sella started pushing the pace and getting in his face, that's what Uriah Hall has troubles with. If he keeps you at distance, you're in trouble. I can tell you, he's dangerous.
He's a very dangerous fighter, very, very athletic, great athlete, but we will see, like you said, if the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a hell of a fight.
There's a lot to come from that. And we'll be picking those, and oh my Lord, I got to right this ship somehow. So, other events, though, coming up. I tell you what, the Midwest, all of a sudden, it's a hotbed. Folks in St. Louis, you don't have to travel too far to see some great UFC fights. We got the Fox Sport 1 UFC. That's on a Wednesday. Interesting. I think that's very interesting.
I like it.
Putting it in the middle of the week. I mean, they're making MMA mainstream.
It's mainstream.
It's going to be out there, and I mean, and that way it's almost like a Monday night football kind of.
Right.
You get Wednesday, and then you also get it on the weekend. So the 31st, August, a busy month for the UFC. They're really doing. There'll be UFC 164 Milwaukee. Again, good for the Midwest. That's not that far of a drive if you want to make the trek up there. The pilgrimage, good stuff.
If you want to see local mixed martial arts, check in Shamrock FC. ShamrockFC.com. It's where all the kids that come out of the Midwest and the St. Louis area, it's almost like the minor leagues. It's a triple A's into the UFC.
And that's happening on August 10th.
August 10th, so, this Saturday night, sold out, 100% sold out. Next show after that is going to be October the 12th. If you do not get your tickets, this show's been sold out for almost 2 weeks now. So, I mean, these are kids
you
got to
get after steps. Yep. And September, you'll be in Kansas City. So, again, just a drive. Is that right, September?
September I think it's September 12th or 14th or something.
At Harris?
Yeah, Harris Casino up there.
So, that's not a bad drive right across.
There's a lot of great mixed martial arts in the Midwest.
It is. It is blowing up here. And of course, in our next segment, I love the guns and the hoses. It's the boxing. I mean, we'll be talking to the guy who organized that. It's an interesting concept, of course. You get the firefighters and the police officers squaring off against each other.
And 100% of the proceeds go to the backstoppers for the fallen victims of the police and fire. So, I mean, this is the most important thing for it. And it's been 27 years, and they were doing with boxing, and now they're going to start. We are going to start mixing mixed martial arts with the boxing this year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it'll give them a shot to get in the octagon for some.
It gives them a first time ever.
No headgear?
No headgear.
Straight legit.
Straight legit.
Wow, that's going to be a great event. We're going to be talking to the organizer of the Guns and Hoses. His name's Steve Hawley. And, of course, we want your feedback from anything. If you're watching the fights, who you think they'll be. Any questions you have for Jesse and I. HitSquad at 101sports.com is the email. Twitter at HitSquad101ESPN. But we're coming up with an interview with Steve Hawley in our next segment. You're watching 101sports.com.